Fijian Voices is proudly produced in partnership with the British High Commission. Fiji's street food culture gained more popularity and following when COVID hit our shores. Street food businesses such as the Fiji Food Truck introduced a variety of innovative and tasty food options using local produce, cementing its relevance on the local food scene. Today, the truck, which is managed by the Khmer brothers, Jarrell, Randall and Curtis, have become one of the must-visit mobile food attractions of Fiji's capital city, Suva.
Bula, I'm Randall Khmer and this is my Fiji. My name's Randall Khmer and I'm from Savu Savu, the hidden paradise. I run the Fiji Food Truck. My brother and he lives in New Zealand at the moment. So I'm running it here in Suva. We're open down at Albert Park every Tuesday to Saturday. The Fiji Food Truck basically does what it says. We're meals on wheels. We're trying to make really good quality meals for the public that's affordable. So our menu is very seasonal and basically trying to get high quality meals that everyone can afford. The truck was actually set up to cater on movies, and just before COVID hit, we thought we'd turn it into a food truck to sell food to the public, as there weren't going to be any movies coming in for a while. And it just kicked off from there. We thought there was a good opportunity to make different sort of foods and street foods in Fiji. And we got inspiration from, I guess, places like America and New Zealand and that, where the street food and food truck culture is quite big. We were originally down at the sailing club at Suva Point, but when COVID hit, they closed that off. I think the caretakers didn't want big groups there during the day, so we ended up along the Nasese seawall, and that was quite good. But Albert Park, because of the shade the trees provide and parking, and obviously the park where kids can run around and families can sit down and enjoy a meal. The menu, we've got the usual burgers and subs on there, and we put on poke bowls because it's yellowfin tuna season and avocado season here in Fiji. So while the tuna is running, we're trying to make the most of that. It's all fresh, locally sourced. We've also got burritos, which is I think a traditional food truck item. So that sells really well. Currently, our poke bowls and chicken katsu are the best sellers. The poke bowl by far. It's very fresh. Raw local ingredients, and the taste in it is unbeatable, I think. So all our vegetables and fish and fruits, herbs that we use in our sauces, they're all from the Suva market. We've got one of our workers that runs every morning to buy from specific vendors that we work with, and the tuna we have a local fisherman. I think the hardest, wouldn't say hard, but it was finding the right location, where the target market would be. At first we moved around the city quite a lot, and now I think Albert Park's the perfect location. The free food? No, I think just being able to work your own hours. If my friends are going out fishing in the afternoon, I can get off the truck quite early and head out fishing. And it's a lot of fun working on the truck with the boys and cooking. We all love food, we all love cooking, so every day is just really enjoyable. The sales have definitely dropped down, probably almost half, but we're doing good. I think we're very lucky to be here in Suva, where the full impact of COVID-19 hasn't really hit or been felt. So yeah, I think just the sales have dropped, but we're still able to keep everyone employed, and yeah, we work 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week. No, it's relatively still the same. We've opened up to doing private functions and catering. That's the only thing that's changed. Friends and family, we've had a lot of support from not just my friends and family, but all the boys working. Their families have been very supportive, and friends, and little things like after the cyclone, we had a few relatives come over with avocados that had blown off their trees, so we had like 2 weeks supply of avocados, and I think half of them stayed on the truck, and the other half we took home and shared with our families. I really enjoy what I do, so it makes it a lot easier to get up every morning and come out early for work, and I think also knowing the other boys as well rely on me and their families. They've got kids that are in school, so yeah, every time things get hard, we think about them and their families and kids, and that's quite motivating. I think the biggest thing would be our juice program, the Velomani program, being able to help other people through our work. So knowing every day we turn up to work, we'll be able to feed 20 or 30 people that day that can't afford it and that don't have a home to sleep in. Don't be scared to expand, to try new things, change your menus. You know, a lot of good ideas die before they're even tried. So if you've got an idea, go out and do it. Give it a go. It'll be something or it won't, but you never know if you don't try. We'd like to get one more food truck and have it based in the West full time. And we've also got a frozen meal, pre-cooked meal line in Extra Supermarket. Currently we're just doing curries, but we're looking to expand that hopefully next week into other meals and other supermarkets. And in a month or two we'll be bottling some of the favorite sauces we use on the food truck, all made on the truck. So yeah, we'll be bottling that and putting it in supermarkets as well.
Up next, meet Lailani Burns, who also operates another food attraction in the capital city. Find out more about her SME next. This is My Fijian Voices. My Fijian Voices is proudly produced in partnership with the British High Commission. My Fijian Voices is proudly produced in partnership with the British High Commission. Lailani Burns is a familiar face when it comes to the rugby field. She wears the Fiji jersey for the Fiji Under 15s, where she plays the prop position. Off the field, she is a budding entrepreneur who runs Inferno Smokehouse and Grill, one of the popular food stalls that has positioned itself as a food attraction of the capital city's night scene.
Bula! My name is Lailani Burns and I'm from Inferno Smokehouse and Grill, and this is My Fiji! So Nisan Bula Vinaka, my name is Lailani Burns and I hail from Australia, but I've also got maternal links, so I'm proud to say that I'm Vasu to the beautiful island of Nairai, the village of Nataloa in the Lomai Viti group. So with Inferno Smokehouse and Grill, what our main specialty is in terms of smoked and grilled meats. And what we aim to do is to basically take restaurant and hotel quality meats and being able to bring it down to the street food level and make it as an affordable option to the everyday customer that is around here in Fiji. So Inferno Smokehouse and Grill was basically the brainchild of my sister Leonie and myself. What we wanted to do is we wanted to be able to provide something new and different to the street food scene. We kind of seen that like there's a lot of very same that's out there in the market, and you know, I'm sure that everyone has a much more of a developed palate. You know, they want to try new things, and so that's why we wanted to come out with things that we enjoy to eat and to see if basically everyone else will enjoy to eat the same thing as well. And we wanted to look at cuts of meats that you know, usually you can only get them in restaurants and hotels and so forth like that. So we wanted to be able to bring it to the street food scene and make it more of an affordable option for the everyday customer. We have got our baby back ribs. We've also got our braised Moroccan lamb shanks, which we slow cook for hours. So when you taste them, it basically falls off the bone. You've got your beef brisket. So the beef brisket, also a very low, slow cooking product. And when you eat that, it just basically melts in your mouth. We've got the buffalo chicken wings. We've also got the loaded turkey legs, which is also something very different to the Fiji scene because turkey is not one of the most common you know, meats to have out here. So we've got loaded turkey legs as well, and of course our chunky cut fries. Hands down, it is our baby back ribs. So with the baby back ribs, we have 2 serving sizes. We have our half rack, and it also comes in a full rack option, and they both come with chunky cut fries. With the chunky cut fries, we have a sriracha mayo that we drizzle over the top. We top it off with fresh dhania and also freshly chopped chilies, so you can choose your heat when you're eating it as well. But a close second to that would have to be our braised Moroccan lamb shanks. Like I said before, it's just one of those options. You see it, it's all about the quantity and the quality of food, and before you even get your teeth into it, your mouth is just watering. So yeah, they're our 2 most popular dishes.
The grill stand is famed for serving premium cuts of chicken, lamb, beef and ribs that will definitely awaken your taste buds. Their signature chunky potato fries have also become one of the food night scenes must-have, which is enjoyed as a side with the tasty grilled meats they serve. The stand can be found set amongst other food stalls in the capital city's night market scene, along Victoria Parade and in the car park area of the Capital City Library.
So with Inferno Smokehouse and Grill, we're a big believer on going local. Wherever we can source our products locally, we do that. So you'll always see us down at the market, just going and getting our fresh veggies and so forth, and the different ingredients. We also go through to the local butchers and also direct to the farms through those local butchers as well to get the best cuts of meat and local products to support the local economy. I think the best thing about what we do is that we love what we do. You know, it's really great to go out and meet different people, and we always get so many different people that come through. And I think it's really good also to be able to bring out new menu items and to be able to play with different flavors as well. So it's always very innovative. We've been able to meet different people, and like I said, we just love what we do. We have fun. You know, with our business, we actually established it due to COVID-19 because there were so many people that were impacted, and you know, even ourselves, we weren't isolated from the impacts coming from the hotel and tourism industry. So we've kind of just adapted with COVID as we went because we didn't really have anything to compare before and after COVID with this business. But the main thing I think that has probably been a little bit of a challenge with the business is the curfew. Because especially with where we are set up with the night food market, the licensing that we have is from 6 p.m. at night all the way to 6 a.m. in the morning. And with COVID around, we can only go from 6 p.m. until curfew, and then we have to close down. So in terms of potential revenue we could be making, COVID has impacted that. I think just having a great team, you know, being able to work with my sister. People always go, don't go into business with family, but I absolutely love it. You know, having my sister there as a co-owner with me and being able to bounce off ideas and just be able to work through all the different things that come through has been really great. We've got a great team. The team members that we have here as well are always very helpful, accommodating. They've got great ideas and we welcome it. You know, we have an open door policy with our staff members as well. And I think it's just the support of our families, our friends, and of course the customers. You know, without the customers, we wouldn't be where we are today as well. So, you know, we're very appreciative to all of the people that have helped us along the way. Well, I think, you know, you can either sink or swim, you know. So Who's it, Dory said in Finding Nemo, you just got to keep on swimming, and just keep on going. So, you know, whatever comes up, just look at it as if it's like a little speed bump. Just go over that and just keep on moving forward. So keep your head up high and just keep striving. Don't give up. You know, I think it's really important to keep on pushing through. You're going to be having challenges that come up. You know, you're going to have people that say to you that you can't do it, that you shouldn't do it. But at the end of the day, you kind of got to just grow a thick skin, and you just got to knuckle down. If you believe in what you're doing, you enjoy what you're doing, and you have a dream that you want to achieve, don't stop until you achieve that dream. Just keep on pushing through. You know, so many people have come to us and they've like, you know, we want you guys to start a restaurant. Why don't you have a restaurant? And, you know, here's the opportunity to do a restaurant. But we want to stay loyal to who we are. And that's basically with the street food scene. You know, we are mindful that the opportunity for a restaurant is there, but if we go through and do a restaurant, then we also have to look at the overheads that are going to come through and make our products more expensive. And if we do that, the people that have been loyal to us, you know, they might not be able to come through and afford the product. So I think, you know, it would be great. We want to continue going through on the street food scene, but we want to be able to branch out into other areas across Fiji and maybe diversify into some more products as well. So hopefully you'll see branches of Inferno out in Nandi soon, out in the north, out in Lau, all over Fiji. So fingers crossed that's what happens.
Up next, find out more about Vanua Chocolates. Meet the brains behind Fiji's craft chocolate only on My Fijian Voices. My Fijian Voices is proudly produced in partnership with the British High Commission. My Fijian Voices is proudly produced in partnership with the British High Commission. Tonight, I introduce you to Arif Khan, the brains behind Fiji's only bean-to-bar craft chocolate brand, Vanua Chocolate, which was set up after the tremendous success of its parent company, Cacao Fiji. Originally from Fiji's largest province, Mba, Arif journeyed across to the United States of America to learn about cocoa and chocolate making, after being inspired by the craft chocolate revolution unfolding that later led to the birth of Vanua Chocolate, which is located in Fiji's gateway to the world, Nandi. Cacao Fiji houses 2 international awards for its Fijian cocoa bean chocolate, which it won at multiple international chocolate competitions across the United States and London.
Bula, this is Arif from Vanua Chocolate, and this is My Fiji.
My name is Arif Khan, and I am actually from Yalalevu Ba, and a graduate of Xavier College, and also Form 7 I did Kamil Muslim. You know, before leaving for further studies in Malaysia, came back, taught for a year in Suva, and then migrated to US for several years before coming back and going into a commodity agriculture, which was either coffee or cocoa. And then I came across cocoa beans in the Reki extension office, and I said, wow, I have to go and learn about what the final usage of this cocoa beans is. And that's how the company Cacao Fiji was born, and a few years later we came up with Vanua Chocolate. In 2018 we started Vanua Chocolate out of Nandi. We're based in the Colonial Plaza in Wakandra. It's a unique building, you can easily find us. Our hours are from 8:30 till 7. It's actually 8 till 7, and we open from Monday to Saturday. And we serve not only chocolate, but great coffee and excellent pastry. One thing about our pastry program is it's made with local Vanua chocolate. So we always believed that we could produce world-class chocolate. Our parent company, Cacao Fiji, in 2015, they got awarded a top 50 placement in the World Cocoa Awards in France, and I actually went there to receive that award. And so, you know, the things were set in motion that at some point in time, we want to value add and give the opportunity for our people of Fiji to try an authentic chocolate. And it's, you know, 100% locally owned. We only use 2 ingredients. We started making chocolate with only cocoa and sugar, and those ingredients are from Fiji. So one of the things is we don't add any preservatives. Recently we started making milk chocolate, which is really, really nice, and we'll be rolling it out soon. So of course we are using the Fiji milk, you know. So the main ingredient in chocolate is cocoa, and we started our cocoa farming via the company Cacao Fiji in Draketi, Matasawa Levu. That's one of the areas. Unfortunately, it's been badly hit by TC Ana, and I think our supply chain will be cut for probably a year. But we also are working with farmers in that region as well, from Savu Savu Timbua. That's a timely question, and you know, we've been ravaged by TC Yasa and TC Ana. So it's actually, unfortunately, it's shaken both our processing centers, and it will affect our supply. You know, when we got hit with COVID, we decided to just close for a month because we didn't really know what was happening, and until we got our gauges and we re-strategized and came back strongly with more social media marketing, trying to be innovative with the products. You see that in our cafe we have pastries. I think really nice pastries made out of Vanua chocolate or the cacao nibs, and we have been able to attract very good talent pool.
Vanua Chocolate is dedicated to the Fijian cacao farmers who did not abandon their cacao farms when Fiji's cocoa industry became dormant. The chocolate brand uses mainly Fijian products when crafting their signature single origin bars and bonbon chocolate flavors, which has become a hit with both the local and international markets.
One of the things in business is you always have to diversify. With the COVID and our core products, we've diversified and made a strong push for the other types of chocolate, and also taking advantage of the occasions, you know, whether it's Christmas or whether it's the Valentine's. And one of our offerings is the bonbon chocolate. These are exquisite small chocolates, and we have infused them with natural Fijian fruit, whether it's passion fruit, mango, and also maybe lime, you know, and we are really excited about that. I think that's a product which will take off. Motivation, I gain motivation from the people around me, you know, and believe me, I think we are all blessed to be in Fiji. We have ample resources over here, and there's so many great things we could do. And one of the things about business is people want to hear a story, and I think the greatest equator of things is social media, you know, and we've built our business on telling a story, whether it's Cacao Fiji or whether it's Vanua chocolate, but we on a daily basis we tell story, and we track that people come and buy from that story, you know. So take it to the social media, you know, and tell something interesting about your product, and people will find you, you know. So I think you can find success with that. The best thing about what we do is, you know, I like the fact that we impact lives, in all honesty, you know. I had a successful real estate career in California, and was doing very well. And people thought that I was crazy leaving that and coming to Fiji. But I think you have one life to live, and it should not all be about making as much money as you want to. I think it should be about as much impact as you can. And man, that for me has been very satisfying and fulfilling. The best thing about Vanua chocolate, it doesn't have any preservatives, and it's made out of the finest cocoa bean. And I think Fiji has one of the finest cocoa beans. So with the finest cocoa bean, you get the finest chocolate. We have a cafe, the Vanua Cafe at Colonial Plaza in Wakandra. And that's opposite of Namaka Public School. And for the local supermarkets, our products are featured in Extra. Yeah, Extra supermarket. Lotoka and Flexstar, right? Yeah, as far as the chocolate, we definitely want to be in all the mid-scale supermarkets or and also all the supermarkets actually. We are going to be coming out with more affordable milk chocolate, and we definitely also want to export, maybe to our neighboring countries first before we venture into the US market, because it's a huge market, you know.
Thank you for watching our show. I hope you enjoyed meeting Randall Kamea and Leilani Burns, two innovative food entrepreneurs, and Arif Khan from the international award-winning Cacao Fiji and Vanua Chocolate. Now next week is our final episode for season 1, so be sure to tune in and capture highlights and testimonials from some of the SMEs that we profiled in this series. I'm Andy Blake. This is My Fijian Voices. Nisamo Demanda.
My Fijian Voices. My Fijian Voices.
My Fijian Voices is proudly produced in partnership with the British High Commission.